Okay. And we are live. I'm just waiting for my other part to catch up with me here. It says it's still waiting for us, but I know we're not waiting. We're here.
It's just
And
like
mine still says waiting. I mean, we're live. We're definitely live over here, but you know how it's a delay. I hate the delay. So while I wait for my internet to catch up, my YouTube to catch up,
it's YouTube. It's not your internet.
it still says waiting on my other screen.
There we go. We're live now.
Are we in now? Are we in for everybody to see?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure it was muted so I can see.
Yeah, I just got a notification from you.
Hey, imagine that. So let's back up just a few minutes before we really do this, talk about something here. So I don't even know dates and times anymore, but somewhere back after my last live stream.
Yes.
Was it after? Maybe even before. Lord my oh, stop that mess. So
dying. I have the COVID.
Okay, well, we weren't going to get to your COVID yet because we was going to go back to my COVID.
Yes.
So I had COVID. I don't even know when now. Was it 3 weeks ago now? Probably.
Yes, you
I was
went
first.
positive before me.
I was first. And so okay, so I knew I had come in contact with COVID. So I knew that I had, and like the fluid, like in contact with COVID. So I was waiting for that to kick in. And it took a few days, but yes, of course, I did show with COVID. So then that was like so I was in quarantine for a little bit because my husband had a very big project that he had to do for work, and I didn't want to mess that up for him and cause him any problems. So I stayed in quarantine, and it ended up being like a 2-week time period because it was like the initial time period. I know you did not. No, you did not. So, okay, so I did contract COVID. It took a while to set in. I had COVID. I went through the process and survived COVID, no problem. So then got back to regular life, and he went and he worked his project, and he worked 8 days straight, like no day off, no time off, no nothing, 8 days straight, did his project. And so that was we got through that. Then the day after the project was complete, he got a phone call that everybody who was on that project was testing positive for COVID. so so then he had to get tested, and he tested positive for COVID. So he knew he had COVID before he had any showed signs of symptoms, and then the symptoms started kicking in. And then so that was 8 days ago. And today is his first day back to work. And so I'm so discombobulated with life,
Yes.
and in the meantime, now, while he had COVID, what happened? We're nowhere near each other, but what happened?
You gave it to me.
Yeah, of course.
And Sissy and Mom and Nick.
So
got us all, and the cat.
Everybody up there got COVID. So somehow we have spread the germs without being near each other. That really worked out, didn't it?
It was telepathically contagious.
So now you're on the mend, but not quite 100% yet.
This fever just spiked up right now.
So. Well, you can go if you want to. We were talking, so we were talking, so you were there. Okay, yes. So 2 days ago, while you were sick, I made a community post.
Yep.
My community post is, if someone is falling behind in life, you don't have to remind them. Believe me, they already know. If someone is unhealthy, they know. If someone is struggling in their relationships, with money, with self-image, they know. It's what consumes their thoughts each day. What you need to do for those who are struggling is not to reprimand, but encourage. Tell them what's good about their lives. Show them the potential that you see. Love them where they are. When we can't see clearly for ourselves, we need others to speak greatness over us. People don't need you to tell them what's wrong with their lives. They already know. They need you to reassure them that they can still make it right. Okay, so, and I've disclosed this to you, and I'm going to try to minimize what I put online. But this post, when I first read this, is it a meme? Is that where it's? I think memes are funny, weird stuff. But this, when I saw it, huh?
Memes are funny.
So when I saw this, my very first thought was something that was happening within my household. Had nothing to do with YouTube, with you, with
Correct.
nobody other than my household.
Real life.
I first read it, but then I read it again, and I read it again, and I read it again, and I thought this should resonate with a lot of people. The way that it, if I have big hair, I know it. If I have extra weight, I know it. If I have, I don't need people to tell me. And I have. So anyway, so it really. So then I thought I need to share this with people because this is important to me. It meant something. It touched my heart, kind of thing. That's how my whole channel has been. If it touches me, I'm telling y'all about it. Okay.
Yes.
So that's where the post came from. That's where my internal thoughts and feelings and how it resonated with me and what I thought people needed to hear it, and I wanted to share it, and I did. And it's got 22 likes, so obviously it resonated with some other people.
Yes.
And I've always, I can be negative, don't get me wrong, but I really believe that lifting people up is better than tearing them down. And not that I can't say that someone's a dirty, rotten scoundrel or whatever. I'm not saying I'm perfect in any way, but it's better to lift them up. And when, let's say Shauna, when I went after Shauna, I got mad and heated and all the things, but in the bottom of whatever I said, I always felt like I was trying to tell her the best way to go about her situation, to give her and work the system, do the things, go through and encouraging the good part of what she should do, not be online and dealing with people who have want clicks and views and the that type of thing. So I really felt that I was trying to help Shauna even when I was mad at Shauna, or not mad. I was never mad.
Angry at her actions.
When I was angry at her actions, I still tried to, underneath it all, give her something to move forward that you can turn this around and make it happen. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Kelly. So even, okay, Jessica Kent, it's get your kids off the line. Don't do these things. Don't put them in the middle of the thing with Jason. And I never thought those kids should be around Jason. So the things that wherever I came from in criticizing people or talking about things, I really tried to come from a good place. And I'm not saying I did every time, and I may have missed the mark here and there, and that's fine. I'm not saying this is everybody has to be perfect at all times. But when it read this post, it really, really resonated that there's people who are talking about people's weight, and if they don't know that they have extra weight on, come on, seriously.
Exactly.
Hair loss, there's things being said on the internet that people absolutely know that they have that issue. It's not there's no. So okay, so what I'm having trouble with now today. So Eldon left me a very nice message on it. Kelly left one. Cynthia, Betty Boop, and then Rebrand. And I have no issue with Rebrand, but here's my problem. It has turned into some sort. Hi, Indigo. Thanks for stopping by. Terry Lynn, I see you. Hi. I don't have, my comment section, and it's going to stay there. It is what it is. And but I want people to understand where I'm coming from. And so when I got this message,
For you.
It's on my comment section. So it's to me, right? I mean, in general, that's my perception of it. It's not on your page, and it's mine. So where do I begin? So I'm just going to read the original and I'm going to try to explain where. So there is a difference between being encouraging and supporting poor choices. If that comment stopped there, it's totally on board with what my message that I thought I was conveying. And that totally is like not an issue. There's no issue with the comment anyway. I'm just trying to, so hold on. So that right there would, if it has stopped there, I can even kind of read between the lines a little bit maybe. But I see the whole point of it, and it's 100, right? But when it goes into winter, and now mind you, I've been dealing with COVID and all this stuff and whatever. So we're just, my brain may not have been right on point at that moment, but it clicked, eventually. So winter is coming, and there are entirely too many unicorns and rainbows in the conversation and not enough of a reality check. So in my mind, I'm like, who's blowing smoke up my ass? Like, what are you talking about? Like, who's my unicorns and rainbows? I'm just telling you. And this is not enough of a reality check. Real friends do the real talks. And so are you being my real friend, and are you really talking to me? So this is a comment to me, in my opinion. And then just saying.
It is 100%.
And then,
It is 100% to you, yes.
So then I'm like, I have a home with heat, and I prep, and I have mentioned that here, and I think a lot of people, I don't know. I do prep. I have food. I have other heat sources. I have a generator. That's a whole nother thing I want to get into, because this is National Preparedness Month. September is. But anyway, so that's a leading thing. But it's funny too, because I just bought the My Buddy Mr. Heater thing that takes Coleman propane heat. It's just a whole thing. So I was like, wait, you see me buy that heater? I'm telling you,
COVID Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. Winter is coming.
COVID has been in the house for 3 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, over a 3-week period. But anyway, so I'm like, I have heat. I prep, so winter will be fine. But then it did kind of click, and I said, I'm guessing you're pointing this to someone other than me. And then of course people jumped on and all the things. But okay, it's about Tira, right? I mean, can we all just, like, now that COVID brain has cleared itself out a little bit, and the conversation has evolved a little from there. I'm not going to read all the comments. That's just not, I'm not putting anybody on blast. I'm just saying how we get to this point. So I want to be upfront with anybody who wants to hear it. And I talk to people privately, and I tell Tira whatever I want to tell Tira. And that means the good, the bad, the ugly. I do it. That is
nobody's fucking business what you tell Tara offline.
True. But I'm just, I mean, if it needs to be
entitled to that information? Who is entitled to that information?
Well, I'm not telling them what I tell her. Nobody really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why it's a problem. I don't know why.
And Tara's the first one to say she doesn't have friends. She don't have friends. Right?
True. Yeah.
I used to be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
We're not friends.
Right.
We are not friends. Mm-hmm. People keep making this mistake just because I will defend something that's correct.
Well, they say not to call anybody out, but Melissa was in the comments, and she, hey, speak of the, hey, Melissa, how you doing? Talking about you. Not in general, just in general terms, but I can guarantee you, Melissa is not a Tira fan. Okay. I mean, in the nicest way possible, Melissa is not a Tira fan. So Yeah, you might. You're good. You're good. I'm not gonna out you too much, but so for people who aren't Tira fans to have to defend Tira makes it harder on everybody in life. It really does.
Yes.
Um,
I had to defend her last 2 weeks. COVID haze.
yeah, I don't
hate
even times and things are
hate
like I said. I know it's been a 3-week time period overall, but I
Yeah.
can't tell you when things happened without going in. Like this one, I can look at that post and it says 2 days ago. So I know 2 days ago I posted this. That's the best I can give you. What is?
It's
Hey,
Hey,
rebrand.
Brian, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
don't. This is not an attack or rebrand. And I want to make that very
No,
clear.
but
That's not what. No.
sorry.
Hearing for psychology. I'm sorry. I lost track where Melissa said, "Oh no, it's not a mystery. Tira and I dislike each other." That's true. Rebrand. I'm just trying to understand, and it's not. It's I don't. The first thing I don't want to do is like call out a subscriber. That's not. That's not my intention. I just want people to understand that I do speak to Tira privately. I don't blow smoke up her ass. That's for sure. And I'm sure she can be the first to tell that, she doesn't have any problem saying things like that. But I just don't want to. I'm not her keeper. I'm not. I have no responsibility for Tira. Do I, worry about her being in the position she's in, but I also know that Tira put herself in that position. She's a grown woman. I'm a grown woman, and I'm not a fan of Tira either, but I also like seeing someone. I don't like seeing someone suffer from their own stupidity. But at what point do we go in and I'm not going to sit there and, not that I feel this way, but I just want to say, like, I feel from the comment that I'm supposed to be telling her, Tira, you're stupid. What are you doing on the streets, Tira? What are you doing? It's Chicago, Tira. You're stupid. Why are you doing? And that's not who I am as a person. I mean, I have maybe said something like that in private, sort of. But I don't see where me doing it online is to where it would. But this post wasn't about Tira. I just want to make it very clear from the beginning. Like, it wasn't like, oh, y'all need to be nice to Tira. She knows that it's unhealthy. That's not where that post came from. So I just want to be clear that that post did not come with Tira in mind. Okay, I'm sorry.
What is your page, Rebrand? You can go there, light a fire. You want to grill, whatever. Again, not keepers, not friend. Why? Just why? The why?
Well, yeah, okay. I understand that, but when I saw the post, okay. And I can, like I said, I can understand that maybe you saw it as a Tira post, but I 100% it was not a Tira post. No way. And I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. There was an incident that Chicago made a post. I commented on Chicago's post, but because somebody else was tagged in it, I guess they thought it was about them. And so if I have something to say to somebody, I will go to their community post, their channel, their something, and say it to them, because I feel that's where it comes with the most direct hit, is to talk to that person. And I say talk, type, whatever, that person. And if I don't tag you, it's probably not really a you thing, but
the subliminal messages. It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I'm missing what Amanda and many of us want to hear your story. She'll be coming out next week. I almost caught up and Mary thought of tear with this post. That's Kelly Neal. Um, I want Tira healthy mentally, physically, all the things, but
It's not in
that
our purview.
it's
It's
not.
not something we can do.
Yeah. I mean, can anyone, what can we do for her? I mean, honestly, seriously, if that's what you, if people have a genuine concern, and she made fun of it and didn't make fun of it, but if you heard her say, people sending me, you need this kind of blanket or something like that, that was me. Excuse me. There is a wearable blanket, if you will. It's like a somewhat like a poncho, but it's a blanket.
Of course it is, survivalist.
And then I know, right? So it's about being prepared and surviving. So I wanted her feet to be free in case she had to jump up and run away. So that was in my thoughts of why it needed to be the way it was. And then on the outside, it is waterproof and windproof. So those are the two things that kind of permeate you and make you colder regardless. You can put any clothing underneath of it that you want to. And so it's a whole, I mean, I think about these things more so. I think about them for myself. I have ponchos here. We have survival stuff. Trust me. So that's where, okay. So,
Okay, Rebrand, do you think you're unique in that fucking position? Okay, so Tara needs to get a job. And what?
hey, Lori, good to see you.
And what? Do you think she doesn't? Oh my God, do you think you're the only person here that thinks that? Do you think you're the only person?
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh my God, it's
She's not
Captain
alone.
Obvious. Get off the fucking boat.
She's not
I
alone in that. And there's been, I think we've heard it over the last 3 to 4 years of every other week or
yes.
something. So, but okay, so
Every day, get a job.
now we are where we are, or she's where she is. Do you know
This
how
isn't about
hard
Tara or Rebrand.
huh?
You can express yourself, but this isn't about fucking Tara.
Well, no, I mean it
You
is
came in and attacked the
sad,
bee.
sad part is it's now about Tira, but it was
Yeah,
not about Tira.
exactly.
That's where I want to make it very clear. This was not about Tira. But I see that, I'm not reading all the comments online, but I mean they're there. I'm not going to delete anybody, but it turned into a Tira issue and I see it. So I'm not opposed to anybody having their feelings of what they read from your comment or from my post or from whatever. So that's why I want people to know where I see what's happening. And I didn't, this was not never the intent of the post to start with. And so that's where I wanted to be very clear that like this had nothing to, in my mind, I see it now has a lot to do with Tira. But when I posted it had nothing to do with Tira. Nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing.
And Melissa can
Post things
understand why
going on
people
in
thought
real
it
life.
was. So I am not, this is not to attack Rebrand, but I did feel some sort of way that it turned into Tira because I really had she was not on my mind. Memes mean different things to different people at different times. Very true. I mean, I can, like, the meaning when I first read this was a personal, private, very close to home situation when I first read it. And then, like I said, it evolved and I could see where people online are saying these things. And I'm not even to Tira, not even to Tira, to other people. And it's like, why do we have to tell them their hair's thin? Why do we have to tell them they're overweight? Why? I mean, I'm pretty sure people know that. I mean,
See, Brand, that's all me. I'm going bald and I'm fat. I fucking know it. I'm not stupid. I have eyes. I can look in the mirror. Why do you got to rub it in? Why? 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 You know,
Elden,
it's just having people add salt to the wound, it at some point you have to build people up and stop stepping on them, right? Nothing to do with Tara. I'm not talking about Tara. Once again, I'm not friends with Tara. Tara's not my friend. Okay. 15 freaking times I've said for years, the last few years. Okay. So miss me with that. But to come in and drive fire at B for something that it was personal to her life was crappy to do. Just crappy. You have such an issue, go to Tara and tell her, just tell her, you and your little squad of internet peoples, go tell her, go tell her, go tell her. Tell her. A meme is something funny, okay? It's not a meme, it was a saying. And of course it doesn't, because you're Captain Obvious of the Obvious boat rebrand.
Hey, so Tara has always had me blocked. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure I saw you on, I don't know, on her new channel, because she hasn't. Her block list is not so good over there. I'm not even a mod on the new channel. No, though, Melissa, I think you're wrong, and I'm not trying to argue with you whatsoever. I got lost. Hold on. Let me do Shelly first. Exactly, B. She gets enough hate. I comment positive things to her. She's my friend. I'm not going to push her down. I can address my concerns for her in a private message. Absolutely. And then Melissa, well, I can guarantee you that Tara won't listen to a word I have to say. That's where I think people are wrong. And that, I'm just from my perspective that Tara does listen to y'all. When you come at her with hate and stuff, her first reaction is to just back at you. That's all there is to it. But she hears y'all. She's not stupid. She's not hard of hearing. She's not, but I think the delivery that some people come at her with, and this is not directed to anyone in the chat in this thing, but people in general, she's very open to criticism, concern. She also has a concern of how people perceive her, and she wants to be in control, even if she's not in control. And I don't mean like of you in general. So when she says, I chose this, I do this, has some of her actions led her to where she is, but it's her defense mechanism. I don't think people understand Tara for who Tara is. And she's not a hard ass like everybody, or she wants people to believe. She's not. That's her persona. That's who you see. And I get that. But I don't believe that's her in general. And I do know that she sees and hears other people's concerns. And I've seen her make changes and do things. And that's what's hard for me, is that, is it fast enough? Is it the turnaround everybody wants? Is it the jump to it? Like, Tara needs a job. She's got one tomorrow. Okay, let's backtrack. So Tara has an income, and I'm not saying that's just neither here nor there. But what job? And I mean, I know I'm going to get like the Dollar Tree or the whatever. Okay, so now Tira's homeless. She has no clean clothes at all. I mean, not like, say she goes to work and she has her uniform or whatever. Where does she wash that uniform and go back in a clean? Where does she take a shower? And I mean, she has these things, but are they as regular as you or I with a home and a bathroom down the hall? So it just, I know people have these things. And then Tara herself, and I'm trying not to like put anything on her or words to her or nothing else. Tara has mental health issues. And I mean, I have mental health issues, not that diagnosis or not that issue. So, but I know how even one day of depression for me can change everything in my household, you know? So
Yep.
I get people's concerns. I do think you should address those with Tira. Um, I do think she's receptive to him as long as you're not going. I mean, if you go on her chat and you say, get a job. I mean, if you came to my chat and told me to get a job, first of all, I know what I do and how I, so I'd be mad. But it's like, how is that helpful? How is that? How am I going to get the clean clothes? How am I going to take a shower? How am I going to, now have, failing teeth? I mean, that's a whole thing. Like, you think she doesn't know her teeth have problems? I'm not, this is no longer a you thing. This is like in general to the people that say things about
Yes,
her.
it's my teeth too.
So, I mean, it's like,
Everything you're saying is about me.
oh, I don't know. I have, I think we get older, we have teeth issues. It's just a
Oh
thing.
my God, and COVID has me brushing them 10 times a day. Oh.
I'm homeless and I crochet winter wear for homeless veterans in the community. I also grow produce for low income. I love that. I do. My brother just texted me peanut butter. He's a pain in the ass. Anyway, he's just trying to annoy me. Sidetrack. That was the intention. I do things for the homeless. I do that. I mean, we have, there's so many these days. There's way more than ever before. It's like, Chicago, this is secretly your intervention. Yes. Okay. Now let's get to the fact of the matter. This is about you, Chicago. Thank you for joining.
This is your life.
Let's get to the point of it. No, I am so kidding. Yes, I think that, people have been on my channel know that in Chicago has helped me with donations, and we do giveaways to the homeless, and we do have things that we do, and it's not something like I don't want pat me on the back, but having dealing
blankets to the downtown
with the people, a lot of them choose to be homeless, unhoused. I mean, I still say homeless. I'm sorry, and they don't mind it. I don't know. We have to be politically correct about everything these days, and I get it. But
what did you call it?
They want us to. Not the unhoused people. The people think that it's disrespectful to call them homeless. They are unhoused. So that's the new terminology.
What if they never had a house? What if they were apartment dwellers?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not going to argue the point. I'm just gonna, they need stuff.
Oh my God, the Real Housewives.
I don't knit anything. I'll be honest. I buy the socks. I buy the hats. I buy the toothbrushes. I buy the toothpaste. I buy these things.
She does.
So
she does.
It's well, and you have helped. So not to discount that.
She does.
But I can't knit. I don't even know how to knit, so I can't do that. I can't be like, here's a and I have bought some knitted stuff that people have handmade and used it, but so it's good to help them, but it's like, at what point you can't mentally, they need very intense, this has nothing to do with Tira, but the homeless population, there's mental health issues. They fall behind in their medications, and yes, they can get some medical and get the medications and stuff, but then when I have a day of depression, it has nothing to do with, well, it does have to do with depression. So I had my gallbladder removed a couple years back. With that, you don't process things the way you used to, and most people think of it as like the fatty foods and stuff, and that's absolutely true. But also, you don't process, or vitamin D is a problem when you have your gallbladder removed. And so I have been taking or been forced to take. So vitamin D can make you have more depression, is what I'm trying to bottom line what I'm getting to, because I like went from depression to vitamin D. I know, right? So I missed for 17 weeks straight. I took the 50,000 IUs and I saw great improvement. I felt great improvement, and it's a weekly in addition to my daily stuff and whatever. So I have an alarm set, and like the first time I missed it, I was out doing something, and it was like, oh, okay, I'll remember when I get home. And then it was the next day, and I was like, oh, I forgot to take it yesterday. And then your mind starts like, well, you can't take it now because then your day off. And then it's like somehow I got 3 weeks behind. Okay. And it was just like, but that's part of my mind telling me, I know I'm doing wrong. I know it's bad. I know that this is a problem. I know I'm causing myself problems. I don't need anybody telling me I'm causing myself problems. And then the depression kicks in. And then it's like all of these things just, we have our own internal dialogue, and it can be something as mundane as a vitamin D pill that I forgot to take. I did take it today. I want everybody to know we're starting back again. But it can be anything. But to take a mental health medication, I'm here with the vitamin D. What if it's my antidepressant that I miss, and then the next one, and then the next one? Then where am I at 3 days from now? You you have to keep it in your system. You have to do these things. So just, there's a lot happening, a lot that's plays into factors of
There is
all of it. Okay, Kelly, I am newer to Tira, found her channel during the JK saga. I don't know if she takes mental health meds or have they changed her her move, her move to Chicago has not gone as planned. She's worried about her nail stuff. True. Okay. Me, if I'm talking to her personally, the nail stuff at this moment is her least concern. That's me being the real friend that I need to be, you know, and it's the least of her concerns at the moment. And I do think she knows that. I think it's the loss of the nail stuff that I don't know where anybody else has been through life, but like at 11, I had a stepdad come in and whisk us away to another state. We were given 5 cardboard boxes. There were 5 kids at the moment, and we were given 5 cardboard boxes and said to put them in there. Well, when you're a 10-year-old, you know, okay, I want this Snoopy and I want that, you know, and so I packed these boxes and they got on a truck and everything else was left behind. I didn't understand the concept of this is all you get and this is what you know. So I suffered this great loss of personal belongings, and then I got married and divorced and different, you know, so I kept over time there's been these losses of personal belongings. And my mom had, fast forward, my mom had a house fire, the house burned down, lost everything, and it makes you reevaluate life at that point. Like, are these things, are personal belongings really important? Well, before that they absolutely were, and it was devastating, and I didn't recover from it from the first ones, but then you start to see things a little differently when you go through something so devastating.
Yes.
So I don't know. So where is she at in that process? But right now she's in grief and loss, and people who interject into her story and into her real life. So I don't want this to be about Tira, but it's evolving that way, of course. But why are people getting into her real life? What good does that do for Tira? How is that helping Tira? It's not. It's meant to destroy her. And
Yes.
I can't relate to that, why people are talking to people in her real life. And it's not to get her help. It's not like, oh, let's do an intervention and, you know, like get her off the street and no, it's like, let's take her home from her, whatever that may be for the day. Let's take her product and her nail stuff that it very much, I mean, I don't know, people watching her nail thing, she really enjoyed the craftiness, like the movement of doing something with her hands and being productive, and that's been taken from her. And like I said, is that what she needs right now? The nail stuff? No, but does she need something to make her feel good and crafty and productive? Probably so. I mean, so it's just a whole, where do you start? What do people want from her? This
Let's
is
not.
Tira. Why can you accept her where she's at? It, I am the one that puts her cash up and does the things I do, and I will continue to do that. I don't care. It's you who donates. For one, she appreciates it. So I'm not, but it's the person who donates, it's on them. She's not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. What you see is what you get. Tira is Tira.
We are not the online Gestapo. Period. If you don't want to,
behind on chat.
If you don't want to donate, don't donate. It's, she's a grown woman, and it's
okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see the chat so until I'm just now catching up on it, and I think I touched on that here and there. The therapy of it, everybody's kind of on like. So Rebrand said she was wasting money on the nail stuff and going nowhere with it anyway. And I can say valid, your opinion is valid, but then Melissa and Shelly and Terry, and it made her happy. It gave her some therapy. It did things for her that maybe we don't quite understand.
Therefore, it's not a waste of money.
So
if it gives happiness, you should see all the shit I buy just to be
true.
Oh my God, I'm gonna hernia.
Don't do it.
Oh my.
So I don't. I mean, it's not to. It's just like if people can come at me with a valid how to help Tira, and I say go to her. I mean, first and foremost. I keep muting you. Are you okay?
It's Toddy Westbrook.
Are you all right?
Yeah,
I muted you instead of listening to you die.
Thank you.
Chicago, you need to send her some of that coconut Dr. Pepper. You know who that is.
I do.
The nail stuff calmed her mind, if only for an hour. True. Very true. I just don't. Do people are? I know y'all are here, and there's people in the bushes. Do you really think taking her home, and I know you can say Tira did stuff to herself, and I'm not going to argue with that point. But then if Tira got a place to stay, people contacted where she was staying at on more than one occasion.
It was Jackie Sunshine. It wasn't people. It was Jackie Sunshine and her ilk.
On more than one occasion, where she was staying at was contacted, and uproar was caused, and she became unhoused again. And so I don't know how many times you expect somebody to go through this process of sorry, Melissa, to go through the process of I'm laughing at a comment. And and she lands on her feet, which is not, I'm not saying she's stable, but she keeps trying, and she keeps moving in a direction that's forward motion. It's not where, I mean, we're all sitting in our homes, we're all on our phones and computers, and that's she has the lowest phone type of phone and what have you. And so I mean we're all in our stages of life and had spouses or have spouses or all the things, but where would you be if you were in that position? What would you suggest to do? I mean, yes, get off the we want her off the streets. That's what I want anyway. But where is it my position to tell her to get off the streets? It's not.
That's right.
Hey, Kinergy. So I don't know. I just don't know why people want to interfere. And this had nothing to do with her. And now it's all about her. And I'm sorry.
I'm gonna hate this. She's absolutely gonna be uproarious about it.
But
But we
the
see
whole,
it as
yeah.
it's just it's how
I,
she is. Yes, we're not friends now, but we were once upon a time.
with
You
all that
know,
happening to her on YouTube, I don't see how anyone with constructive criticism would be heard, anyways. I mean, she's fighting for her life at every turn at this point, you know? Not,
hello, Mia.
hi,
Hi,
Mia.
Energy. Let's add one more thing.
Uh oh. More?
Just one thing. So I wasn't in on all this. She's coming back to Chicago, yada yada, skippy boom, right? I knew
Okay.
nothing about that. She had what she thought was a friend backing her up, giving her a helping hand, you know. Um, and then she got kicked in the ass. Like
Okay,
that's a
I'm
huge
gonna
betrayal.
play devil's advocate on the fact that
Okay.
people think that because she talked about what was going on, not, but who knew who these people were?
Not me. I
Who
have no
knew?
idea.
But in reality, these were fictitious people.
Right.
It wasn't a true story. I mean, come on, let's just be. I'm not saying it made them real when somebody made them real, right? I mean, the same
Yes.
thing back with the HIV man with the he wasn't real until somebody made him real.
Correct.
What gives people the right to make these characters real people? That I don't
It's
understand.
crossing a line. It's when do you cross the line from real life into internet? You know, it's uh,
Hold on, I've got to
my mind is fuzzy.
okay.
This is
Anyway,
horrible.
it is, and it was not my post wasn't about Tira. None of it
There's
was about
place and
Tira.
time.
Do what?
There was a place and time, and rebrand. I'm not apologizing to you. You pissed me off. That I fly hot. You went after B. I'm sick. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's a time and a place for everything. Okay, you're entitled to think that she lied about why she left her son. You did. You absolutely did. And the fact that you can't
Wait.
own
I
that
missed it.
shit,
Hold on, I wasn't reading chat. Let me go back because
girl,
I don't know why
please.
you're
Bye.
upset. I think Tara lied about why she left her son's home.
Whose business is it?
Wait.
What does that make your business, rebrand? You can think all you want. You're entitled to it, right?
Well, but
To what end? To what end?
that's what okay, so I'm confused of why,
Shit stir.
because there's been people who I know for a fact and this is not about her son. This is like when she went into that apartment that they doxed her at the college apartments. Since it's been so long ago, I'll just go there. So everybody was like, she put it in her son's name. She's using her son. She's doing this. Her son. That was the storyline for everybody. I know for 100% fact, 100% that apartment was in her name. Her son was nowhere near that apartment, attached to it in any form or fashion. No funds went from him to her to the thing wasn't in his name, all of that. But why was that such a big deal for everybody that it became like this grown, she's abusing her son. It was proven when it was pulled up an eviction that was not in her son's name, right? 100%. I knew for fact it wasn't, but it's also been proven by their digging into her legal stuff again.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the dig. I really, really don't. Why is it anybody's business? What she puts online, talk about it. Talk about it.
Yes. Talk whatever she brings up.
But I don't understand her kids. She's not.
Let's go. Okay. Let's go for anybody's. How about anybody's?
Anybody's
We all
what?
know I made a mistake. You guys can have the wood, from the cross that I put myself on, I was crucified for it. I see the error of my ways, Criticize the shit I say online. Criticize that. Why dig deeper? Why? To what end? Because you're nosy?
Well, I mean, I don't understand all of the
Like a rush to get to Chicago. Who knows? Ask
Hold
her.
on. And that's Tira's business, but I can tell you she was in talks with this friend for months upon months before she left Florida. The couple that she went to stay with, the female of that couple, is a friend of hers from the past that they lost touch with. They regained communication with each other. And for months, before she even moved in with her son, she was already in talks with her. So I that's not like there was no rush at all whatsoever for her to leave to go to Chicago.
Hey, Brand, why do you think there was such a rush?
So there, Terry posted it. So I'm just gonna. So
what?
She went. So the friend. This is the story, and I heard it months prior to. What does that mean? It just nut houses need to be reopened. What does that mean?
Wow, aren't you special, Rebrand?
No, I mean, maybe we're, but what does that mean? Because that's like it's not setting well. It's not. I'm not digesting that well. I don't. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Melissa says it's not cool. Okay.
So you're making fun of people with mental illnesses?
I got lost on something. Hold on. So the bestie was on the phone with her for months, telling her she was being abused. This is the story. And I heard it for months. It wasn't like something new that Tira came up with when she sat in that backyard in Chicago. She was telling her she wanted out. She didn't know how to get out. She didn't. So she was moving there. They were going to stay there for a few months and get some finances straight and get an apartment together. So that was in the works for months. It had nothing to do with her son. She didn't abandon her son. She didn't run from her son. So that, I think that got lost on everybody because she absolutely talked about it. Except for Tira, second time Tira was going to rescue her bestie. Exactly. What? Okay. I have to, so the
was an absolute dig.
No, not really. I have severe CPTSD. Where did I'm on two different things. But I have help. What does that mean about the nut houses being reopened? Okay, Tira went and got Tira went and got help not too long ago. Week ago, I don't know. I've had COVID. I'm telling you, my timeline is off a bit, so don't hold me to dates. There's not enough mental help. There's not enough mental help. People said you don't go in for that 10, 11 days, 14 days. You go in as long as if you're how do you put it? If you go in, I've had this happen, not me, but I took someone to the mental facility and they self-checked in for evaluation for a 72-hour hold while they evaluated. So that was 3 days that they were to stay there, but they self-admitted. So with
Yeah.
self-admitted, you can check yourself out. That's fine. But if they find something in those 3 days, it's not necessarily that they can keep you, but they can tell you, this is what we found. This is what we'd like to do. We'd like to change your meds. We'd like to do all this and stay here while we get this worked out. And they can stay there as long as there's funding for it, whether it's your private insurance or whatever. So I'm not keeping up with chat right now. I'm going to come to it in just a second. But so you just, it can be 7 days. It can be 60 days. It can, whatever you can finagle out of that. So there's no limit to it. And there's no, oh, it's only 30 days or it's only 3 days and what have you. That's not true. It's just not true. So all the false information and all the things going around is just crazy.
Anybody can get killed in a park. Anybody can get. How do you think my daughter would feel if I wound up dead in a park? Oh my God. Am I the only one that?
What? Okay, so what do you mean by a nut house? I'm still stuck on that because we have mental health facilities that are open and people do check in, and I'm lost on that. Really came off it came off wrong. It came off bad. I don't know any other way to that didn't come off as you would hope. I think, I don't know, unless you're just trying to be mean and nasty and attack people for mental health issues. I just don't see how that came off.
She was trying to do, in my opinion.
So she said her son was moving in with a friend. Going back isn't an option. You're on point, Mel. Does she not think how her son will feel if she's found dead in a park? Okay, so let's just be for how would your son feel if you were found dead in a park? Because I know I live in a nice city suburb of Dallas, and I can still be found dead in the park down the street because it's just the climate of the world we live in today. People get shot on our highways every day, and there was a 2-year-old that got shot while her family was delivering DoorDash because someone didn't like the way they turned the corner. I mean, so I get your concern, but then I could have a stray bullet come through my front door right now and take me out. I just don't understand. I understand where she's putting herself in a position that seems risky, and it is. I'm not saying it doesn't. It is risky, but no, it is risky. It's an increased risk, but I don't see how that. What about her son though? Why she was living in a place in Florida that was just, in my opinion, as risky. So she could have been killed in her apartment, her studio that she was in. So it's like not something she's not used to, being in a precarious situation. And Terry Lynn, so we realize the risk, but what can we do? What can supporters do? What can the people who hate her do? I mean, what can anyone do? Mia, do you have a suggestion? I mean, like what can you do to a woman in her 40s and tell her to do that's going to make everything good for her children, for herself? Oh, Mindy's Cult Survivor. Let me read your comment, okay? Because you have been very lovely to me lately, and I haven't spoke nothing to you, but here you are in my comment section. If Tira had any respect or appreciation, she would have respected her friend and her husband that opened their home to her only to be blasted and disrespected online. Okay, who are they? Who did she disrespect? Who are you talking about? Her friend and her husband. Who? Now, if you're a sock account, so I can't even say your name, like Melissa. Melissa is Melissa. If she did that to Melissa, we know Melissa, we see Melissa. Okay, I get it. Who is friend and her husband? Who? They were fictional characters at that moment in her storyline because nobody knew who they were. It wasn't like Mindy and Jason, people know who they are. If she says Mindy and Jason, we know Mindy and Jason. It's there, it's out there. It comes to, we can put a picture to the name. We know who these people are. I'm sorry I used you, Melissa. But Mindy and Jason, yeah. Jessica Kent, we know who these people are, and we can put a face to the name, and they are being outed for something if Tyra says their name and puts it out there. But friend and husband, who are they? Who are they? Nobody. Until you make them somebody. She didn't make them anybody. She didn't put their picture out. She didn't put their address out. She didn't do that. So she didn't put anybody on the internet. She put a story on the internet. Rebrand, I didn't say not has to be nasty. I appreciate that. I would like to believe that because it really felt hurtful, harmful. It did. And Melissa thanks you for that. Hope you didn't mean anything by it. Her bluntness can be misconstrued by people who don't know her well. Mindy's cult survivor. If they were fictional, she wouldn't be homeless right now and lost her BFF. Oh, hold on. Hold on. How did that happen? How did that happen? Explain to me, Mindy's cult survivor. How did they go from fictional to nonfiction? How did that happen? Are you serious? You would accept someone who you invited into your home to talk shit about you, your relationship, your parenting, just because it's anonymous? No. No. Don't get it misconstrued. No, not at all. How did they know that's who she was talking about? How did they know? How do they know these things? Was this a conversation that they were having and she said, I'm going to put you on the internet and blast you? She didn't use their real names. She didn't use anything about them, making them real other than the story. So no, it's not because, okay, so how did dude find out? Tell me that, Mia. You know all this. So how did dude find out? Because I know how dude found out. So how did dude find out? And why did anybody make him aware of that situation? So there's people talking about me on the internet right now. I'm blissfully unaware. Blissfully. Maybe Bestie is a snake. No, that's not how they found out. But I mean, maybe, but not. It's not how it happened.
She was calling T and dragging her husband, saying she wanted out because she was abused. Yeah. It's a good book, oh, Wacky Jackie.
We're just gonna blame her for everything.
Oh, maybe it was.
Because she went to Bud Street and made horrible decisions. Well, hold on. Hold on. You're losing something in your translations, Mindy's cult survivors. She went to Bud Street. She may have made horrible decisions. I'm not going to argue with that, but because she went to Bud Street, no. How did Jason contact? Did Mindy contact? Because that's no. So how did that make the husband and wife become reality?
Do we actually know that?
What?
Do we know that?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Oh, Lost in the sauce. Never mind. I don't know what I was saying. Okay.
They found out because there's people online that don't like Tira, and they contacted them. They did. Why is it okay for you to why is it okay for people to reach out to real life people and make them names? Because now we know his name's, I know his real name, but Nelly was brought to the internet. Why was Nelly brought to the internet? That's not okay. That's not okay. It's just not. Mia, say you have a friend named George and I find out who you are and where you're at, and I contact George and say, well, Mia said something about you online. Is that okay when George has no idea? I make George a person of the internet. It's just, so she instigated it. I see some of your parts I can like, okay, you're right. But on the other hand, it's like, how do you reach that much further? Regardless of Tira hasn't been ungrateful and had manners.
I think she meant regardless if Tara hadn't been ungrateful. It typos.
And had manners. Okay, but so I see part I can okay, I see where you're going with it. But on the other hand, what gives somebody the right to be an enemy? Yeah, okay, Eldon. Tara had toxic online enemies that tattled on her. End of story. That's the truth. That's the gist of it and the bottom line of it. Okay, what kind of person goes on and trashes someone she's allowed to stay with? Obviously, Tira. Obviously, Tira.
Newbie.
Tira. I can only answer that with the
first time she's done this. She has a pattern.
This is not
we
new.
Don't agree with it. We don't abide by it, but it's what she does. You know.
Why was the BFF ignoring her when she got there and made Tira uncomfortable? No, maybe you misunderstood that. So Tira heard all the, and okay, I don't know what other people do, but I have a friend that I might vent to and vent to and vent to. Maybe they don't like someone that I have talked about because I vented about that person, but that doesn't mean it's true, right? That doesn't mean that it's a reason for you to hate them because I don't, it's like, but she sat there and told Tira about her life, and Tira believed her.
Yeah.
Tira believed she was going there to, and not to save, but to help her friend transition from her relationship to something else. When she got there, was it the same as what she had heard about for months on the phone? No. But how's that Tira's fault? I mean, it is to some degree that she shouldn't believe everything she hears. But on the other hand, she believed her friend and she thought what her friend was saying was reality. And it turned out not to be reality in that way.
Yes.
Okay, but that's Tira. Rebrand again. That's Tira. Tira made her entire what? That was yours, Melissa. I almost read the wrong one. Tira made a mistake of trying to get in the middle of a domestic issue when she herself was unstable. I can't argue with that. But in her mind and in her heart, did she think she was doing the right thing? Yes. Was it? Hindsight 2020? Absolutely not. But you can't say that she didn't think she was doing the right thing. Tira made entire videos about me, and I didn't go trying to get her kicked out of where she was staying, and that's unhinged behavior. And thank you, Melissa. I mean, there's people that have done things to me on here, and I haven't done half the things I could. Chicago, are you talking?
No.
Oh, Well, your bubble was moving. So I was like,
My bubble's moving.
it was. So I was like, what happened to you? Okay, hold on. I'm getting behind. Tira went live and said her best friend was completely ignoring her and avoiding her, and only the husband would even acknowledge her. Okay, not that I don't know anything about it, but I've been in an abusive relationship, and there were times that my ex-husband would intervene and not allow me to. Well, allow is a whole thing. I guess when you're in an abusive relationship, you have to know the allows and what they really mean. If you're not from that, I'm sorry, but allow doesn't mean it allow like that term. But I wasn't allowed to talk to some people, but he would talk to them so that he could get his side of the story across, so that he could cover his tracks and do the things he needed to do. So I don't know, that I can't get anything from that. I just can't. There you go. Tira didn't think. The root of the problem just been discovered. Okay, Tira didn't think, but how do we fix that? How do we fix that?
I can fix.
Amanda, my dear Amanda, I don't know you from Adam except for what you've put online, and I am so confused by you. So confused, because one minute you want to suck Jason's dick and the next minute you want to put him in jail for abusing you, and I know that can be the same thing at the same time, but I really can't understand it. So I'm like, I see you in comment sections and you're like, Jason was a good guy, and then the next one Jason was a bad guy, and I've been in abusive relationships, so I can kind of, pick up what you're putting down sometimes, but then I really don't understand where you're coming from, and I really want to hear your story, because I've heard other people tell your story, but I would like to hear from you what the story, because other people telling your story I really didn't understand, and seeing it in the comment sections has got me so confused on what is what.
You see, at least you're keeping it in the comments section. You're not digging, you're not looking, you're not investigating, you're not doing any of the things. You just asked her point blank.
Who what? Okay, sweetheart, honey bunches of oats down there. When you're abused to the core, you think that person really loves you. Did you not just hear anything I said? Did you hear anything I said? You keep it going. You tell your story, because I will listen to it. That is for sure.
Yes.
Thanks, Eldon. She's just breathing, being worried when the bubble stops moving.
Who's getting a gold medal and who is abused worst? Abuse fucking happens, okay?
That's Amanda, what I said. I can understand that you can have two things at the same time, especially in an abusive situation.
Correct.
So
I was more abused than anybody else. Shut the fuck up.
Very confused. So I'd like to hear your story from you, because I'm 100% willing to listen to it. Who is this Amanda? Is this? No. Amanda is Jason's ex.
Yes.
It's not involved, but well, I guess the only way it would involve with the Tira situation is because the Mindy Jason Tira weekend over there, that thing. But otherwise, it doesn't. It's not the ex friend.
Welcome to the
Eldon, are you being a smart man there?
Yes, it is.
Tira also said it's okay for Jason to unalive Mindy if she ever presses our charge.
She said that.
She did?
No, I'm asking. I didn't hear that.
That's what I'm like, I don't know that one. I don't. I have had COVID. My husband's had COVID. I've not been on
COVID fever.
I have been online, but I have not been privy to everything said online lately. I have not. Yes, I did. I was actually writing that while you were talking. Okay.
Huh.
The Jason holding up a weapon and Jason Tiro was partying. Yes, that Jason. Yes. Okay, so Terry Lynn may be more of. I'll have to go with. She's probably more in tune of what's been going on more recent.
Pay zero attention.
It says she agrees with how he thinks.
Oh God, I really want tuna fish.
That's disgusting.
I know.
Disgusting. I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if Tira said that, but it doesn't change me thinking it's wrong to seek out and call anyone Tira tries to stay with to do her harm. Right? I don't. Where did the tuna fish come from? Now it's in my chat too.
I don't know because Nick's feeding the cats, our porch kitties.
I was like, what? And now Melissa's talking about tuna fish. I got so confused. I can't say Tira didn't say that. I'm not going to argue with some. I will only say what I know.
I can't comment because I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I'm not 100% defend Tira at all costs. I'm not going to do that. So if she said that, it's wrong. I don't think anybody should be unalived, and especially over, and I mean, they have been in real life, don't get me wrong, but over YouTube crap, no, this is way out of hand. Jason would rather go down for an M. I heard that. I even think Jason said that. I'm not positive, but I do recall what Terry Lynn said, that she did say that Jason stated he'd rather go down for an M than an R charge. And that, I mean, logically that makes sense. If you're a hardened criminal and you've been in the system and going through prison and stuff, I mean, wouldn't you rather? I know it's not, I don't even want to go there. Never mind. But I can see that being a thing.
I can see it being a thing, but it's not cool to say that. That's crap.
Rebrand. Okay, the convo has proceeded far beyond where it started. I'm sorry if my initial comment on the thread felt directed at you. It wasn't. I know you are in a stable home. Sorry, I sent it off. Yeah, I'm going to keep listening, but I've got the
Dothraki. It's a Game of Thrones thing.
Okay, good. I have you around for a reason.
Yes.
The Thraki horde of kittens to tend to now. Well, you tend to the kittens because they are.
I got 5 kittens, porch kitties. Love them all.
Sorry, guys. Days of Our Lives just started. Is it still on? Are you joking with me, Eldon? Is that really a thing? I have not watched a soap opera in 100 years, and they're probably on the same storyline.
Enjoy, Eldon. Enjoy. I was a Channel 7 soap girl myself.
Thanks for visiting, Eldon. Thank you very much. No, this live was not about Tira, which became about Tira, and I don't like to talk about Tira behind Tira's back, and I don't defend everything Tira's done, and I am a Tira supporter. That I can say 100%. I do. I support her. I support her in being a human being, living this life, and that's all I can say. But do I support her being homeless? Do I support her being in a park with possibility of getting murdered and what? No, I don't. It's the stupidest thing. I cannot approve of that.
We have no choice in the matter.
But what I'm not her keeper. I am not Tira's keeper. Tira can't be kept. Tira is one of those, I don't want to say wild animal. That's
she
not
can't be tamed. Miley Cyrus song.
Yeah, there you go. She can't be tamed. And my thing is, if you don't like Tira so much, or if you are so concerned about Tira that it's making you lose any sleep, or that you know anything, stop watching her. Don't watch her. Don't look at what she does. Don't, because that'll help you into like what you don't see doesn't affect you kind of thing, because she's not in your home, she's not in front of your house with a tent, or so it really has no effect on you what Tira is doing right now or has done in the past, at all. But stop watching it. And Shelly's a Tira supporter but doesn't agree with everything she does. I don't either. And y'all know I've been here from the beginning. I don't, you don't have to support everybody. Do your best to support and be positive. You're being a troll.
Yeah, that's what the community's turned into,
You be a troll, Melissa. So this was not an attack on Rebrand, no matter how, I want to start from the beginning, that this was just like it was on my post, and this post wasn't about Tira. This post was about me personally, and then I read it to where like a lot of people should be able to resonate with this, and if they can't, maybe it's hey, people know that they're this, people know that they're that, so just why be mean to them? So that's my whole thing. But if you don't like Tira, don't watch Tira. That's the easiest thing to do. There's times I don't watch Tira. If you pay attention, I am not in every live or thing that she does. I'm not. And there's a reason most of the time. Sometimes I'm just busy with family. I have a family, but it doesn't mean I don't have to agree with her on everything. There you go. I'm a supporter as well. Doesn't mean I agree with everything, but I'm not going to kick her. There's people on here that I despise. Huh?
That's the humanity of it. That's the meat and potatoes.
There's people here I despise. There's people here that, not here in the chat, like here on YouTube, and they can go kick rocks. They can have a rock hit them in the head, maybe not from me. I'm not going to throw it. I'm not, but I don't have to pay attention to them either. Common sense. Back to the right is right, wrong is wrong thing. And just because, Amanda may be 100% right in what she's saying. I'm just saying it's coming off very discombobulated. So I'm willing to hear her to see the right, if right is right. Do you know what I mean? So I'm willing to hear somebody out. I'm willing to, but I'm not just going to kick her because we don't align on the same platform at that time. I'm not. I don't kick her. I don't kick anyone while they're down. True. Don't you make videos on people that you have criticized? Not saying there's something wrong with that, but we should just not have criticism for Tira. Hold on. Yes, I do. Jessica Kent, Shauna Bierce, Patty Lynn. Yes, but I would hope that, have you watched my content? I mean, I started this off from the beginning, and I don't know if you were here when I started talking about it. Absolutely. But I feel at the bottom of, not the bottom, like legit, but underneath everything that I have said to any of those people, I have offered advice or praise or something other. I didn't kick these people while they're down, if that makes sense. I don't know. But if you watch my content and you think I'm just totally out of line for criticizing something, then, say it in those comments and we can discuss it there about what I did in that thing. But I have not deleted anything from my channel. If I said it, I meant it. And things have changed over time. Like, there is a stream that has you probably nothing in your realm, but it's about Coley and Mandy. And I have since become friends with Mandy, and I don't feel exactly the same way today as I did that day, but what I said that day was what I meant that day, and I'm not going to delete it or take it down because I didn't attack her. I didn't criticize her to the point of kicking her while she was down. So that's where I see a difference in it. Criticize her for things she's done, leave her private life out of it, in my opinion. That's I think my biggest thing is her private life should just still be her. If she wants to talk about it in general terms and in vague, unnamed people and stuff, why is it anybody's position to go find the name of that person? Calling places she's staying is not offering criticism about her behavior. True.
But it
So
gives people stuff to talk about.
when Tira left to go visit Jason and Mindy, I don't know the underlying facts of it all, but what it appeared online, Tira went to visit. In the meantime, somebody made contact with the people she was staying with, and she couldn't go back. Is that Tira's fault, or is that whoever contacted those people's fault? I mean, you have to figure out whether who's right, who's wrong. Are they both wrong? Can they both be right? But everybody wants to put it on Tira. Tira's the problem. Trying to find where Tira lives based on a building outside in her video and based on a thermometer in her home is too much. There's no reason to do stuff like that. There isn't. There isn't.
It's just Jackie has too much time on her hands.
Oh well. Tira supports people who did exactly that to another woman, Shelley, with her whole chest. You get what you give in life. Who did? Who?
Tara did exactly that to another woman.
Tira supports people. Supports people. So I support Tira, but I don't condone her. I'm not party to actions of stuff that Tira does. So I'm kind of confused on Tira supports people who did that. So
what does that mean?
I don't what it's you're too vague in what we don't really understand what line you're going with, but still I'm trying to I support Tira, but I don't support everything Tira does. So I'm kind of confused on how we get to is she not a woman too? Oh, JK. So it is Jessica. Is that who you're talking about? See, I mean, it makes more sense if you just say Tira supports people who do that too. Okay. Hold on. So I'm just going to fill it. Tira supports people who did that exact thing to Jessica Kent, another woman, with her whole chest. You give what you get in life. So do you think Tira hasn't suffered from actions that she's done involving Jessica Kent? I mean, what more do you want her dead? I mean that's the best you're going to get at this point. They've taken her home. They've taken her YouTube income. I mean, did she do it to herself? We can argue that, or that's fine. Say that's what happened, but whatever. But what more do you want from her? I mean, like today, are you still going to try to cut the other wrist because that one's out of blood? I mean, I don't understand where that goes. So you're willing to, that's a whole nother thing too. So you're willing to bring yourself down to that level because I'm not. Things have happened to me here online, and I am not willing to do what they've done to me just because they've done it to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That had started out as wearing a gang shirt. She lost her channel. Okay. I'm not asking you to feel bad for her. I'm asking you not to kick her. I'm asking you not to put, she's got 6 bullets in her and you're going to pull the trigger again. Like what sense does that make? I mean, I'm not saying you have to feel bad for her. It's just, can you stop pulling the trigger? Like what? Not you and John, like the people who are doing this to her. This was not even about Tira. Now we're all about Tira, but I'm good with that. I'm okay. Keep it going. But I'm seriously like, okay, people who say that I've seen it on TV, you had to have seen it on TV. There's a person and they may get into an altercation and there's a fight and then they get that person on the ground and then somebody from the crowd, people from the crowd come out and kick that person. They weren't the original fighter, they weren't the person in the fight. They come in and get their lick in because they can. Like you got them down, you got this under control, but I'm gonna come kick them right upside the head just for the fun of it. How about one to the ribs just for the fun of it? Like, where does it, you're not any less culpable for the damage you're doing just because you didn't start it or you weren't the original thing. So what is a reality check? She's fucking homeless. What kind of fucking reality check do you want her to have? Please explain that to me. She has nothing. She has no belongings and she's homeless on the streets of Chicago. And she needs a reality check. You need a reality check. How much more do you want? How much? That makes no sense to me. I'm sorry. That was just like, she needs a reality check. Why? You're the one paying for it. You're going to fucking get a deep dive, Lady Di. You said you would pay for it, so pony up the fucking money and get your damn deep dive. I am so over you. I don't know why you're doing what you're doing as a professional. Have a great day, because you said you are a counselor. You said you are a counselor. No counselor in America. Thank God, I guess you're in Canada. I'm sorry, Terry Lynn. I'm sorry, Eldon. But you know what I mean? This is not okay under any circumstances for someone who professes themselves as a counselor to pay for a deep dive. So get your deep dive. You're going to get it. And I don't care. Have a good day. She came after you. I saw you on panel. I saw you up there. It was squashed. It was like, yeah, okay, that's how you believe. This is how I believe. Okay, agree to disagree. We'll have a great day. Bye. See ya. And then you came into another places and other things and doing your thing. So how is it? And you're retired. Does that make it go away? What you've done and what was instilled upon you for, were you only working for a day? I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, we need a deep dive on Tira. There's plenty of them already done. They're out there.
It's her whole life out.
There's no reason to do a deep dive, but you go right ahead. And I'm not gonna, there's no argument there, but there is no there's nothing out there that is new to anybody. Yeah. Nothing new. Nothing new. Go to y'all know whose channel to go to. Go to his channel. There's enough on there. Okay. Melissa says scroll back to the beginning of Steph's channel. Yeah, she's talked about it. And people have comfort here. Y'all are new, and I don't mean it like this is not disrespectful, but y'all are new. You are new to this game, and I know that what you're experiencing now, this is a 3-year, almost 4-year process that some of us have been involved in, and the deep dives have been done, the FOIAs, the informations, it's all out there. It is all out there.
We'll watch.
How can it be different if they've brought her sister to the internet. They brought her adoption, her arrest records, her ex-husband, her current husband, her, everything's been brought to the internet. Everything has been brought to the internet. Everything. As a woman, I hope Tira picks herself up. I also hope she learned her lesson, having experienced firsthand how Jason and Mindy are, and I doubt she will, but we will see. I doubt she will either. That's my, I am not oblivious to this. That's why I'm trying to explain to y'all that I understand where your feelings of what you have seen happen with Mindy and Jason and Jessica Kent and those things. But this is a long over-evolved process that we are all aware of. Tira, all of us. I don't think there's anything shocking. And if she came right out and told y'all she did drugs, she did it. So what do you think? There's nothing. She makes it to where there's nothing y'all can say.
Tira doesn't cry. She's a victim.
What
Where
am I
did
missing?
that happen?
Tira is the one that comes for people, but then cries victim when she gets caught out.
When has she ever said she's
Hold
a
on.
victim?
The only way Tira can be made a victim is if you make her a victim. I mean, I can say, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. Does that make me a victim? If you do something to me, you make me a victim. If you say something about me, you make me a victim. The only way Tira can be a victim is if you make her a victim. So stop making her a victim.
But I've never heard her say she's a victim of anything.
Mm-mm.
Even a victim of circumstances.
Tira is the one who comes at people without a doubt. Tira seems to repeat that pattern. There we go.
Yes, there's that.
After weeks of denying doing the drug. No. Wait. Hold on. Okay.
What are we talking about?
After weeks of denying that drugs were involved. Okay, so what does the drug use? Hold on. I'm trying to, let's say I did drugs last night. Okay. And then today I'm saying I didn't do drugs last night. What does that, how does that, I'm confused on like denying it. What does that make a difference? I'm like, you people seem to like to addict shamed around here. I don't know. That's just a thing, Amanda. I'm sorry. I don't know what. I don't know. They homeless shame, they addict shame, and then they say, oh, that's not a good thing to do. I get it. Tira came at people only to get into Mindy and Jason's good graces. That's what makes it so despicable to me. She had no bone in this. But hold on. Okay, Chicago. I got lost because I was looking at something else. Weeks of denying that drugs were involved and being hella rude to Amanda. Okay, I don't know about being hella rude to Amanda. I don't. And it's more than likely okay. But I've seen Amanda often fat shaming people. I'm not going to name names. Tira isn't innocent. Tira. Okay, wait. What is so everybody on the internet gets a deep dive. Everybody on the internet gets to be made homeless. Everybody on the internet. So what do you mean she's going to get the same treatment as everybody else? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Yes, we've lost Chicago. She's having a rough time with her COVID symptoms. I don't know who she fat shamed, but I'm not gonna say Tyra hasn't said, but you're fat and you're ugly, because she has. Not recently that I know of, but it's when you back her and why y'all back her in the corner and then expect her to just like be, what do you want to do? Lay down and die? She's not gonna do it. She's not. Tyra said some awful things. She called out Amanda also. Called out Amanda for what? Okay. I don't agree with that. I don't. Mindy's cult survivor. Yes, Tyra was fat shaming, telling Amber she looked pregnant. So I don't agree with that. And if it was said, that's, I'm not going to apologize for her. But okay. But on the other hand, why would you put up those pictures? I mean, I think Amber has some impulse control also, and Tyra has impulse control. So that's not a good combination. But I'm not putting my boudoir pictures on the internet and not expect somebody to have something to say about them, because I have a lot of people that would, come at me for something like that. So I don't think that that's, I don't know. She has said those things. Be my point is there's so many others that have done the same. True. Her fat shaming came out of the blue. So are we still talking? So Pixie Dust Doodles, are we still talking about what Mindy's cult survivor said that it was about Amber looked pregnant? And someone else. See, y'all just keep throwing stuff, but I can't. I cannot. No. Okay, hold on, Pixie Dust Doodles. I was not privy to that, but I got the back end of that thing. Amber felt beautiful and wanted to share it. Was that not into like some like look at me and look at you kind of situation? Or it was just like, I just had these done and I want to share them with the world? Because the way I understood it, and I may be totally wrong, but the way I understood it is that she put those pictures out as a look at me because you're ugly and look at me, that type of, not those words, but that's how they came out, that she put those out as a way of saying, bitch, you're ugly, look at me. That was the way I understood those pictures to be. But like I said, I wasn't privy to that as it happened, just how it came about. It was because Tyra kept calling her ugly. So she put out they're not naked pictures, but you know what I mean, like half naked pictures to say I'm not ugly. Like, what are you trying to, y'all can call me ugly till the day is long. I'm not putting my butt on the internet. Okay. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me in a rational, well thought out process. It just doesn't. What am I missing? Threaten Terry. That's wait. Or a second person, another kid. I can't say names. Isha's fat shamed more than one person. What am I missing? Who's threatening to off people? Lady Di. I don't see that comment to. Okay, way up there. Sit and take it without threatening to off people. What? So you just want her to sit and take it? I got lost. I think Tyra has pissed off many people at this point. She needs to take a break and stop pissing people. Why? Okay, but tell me why. That's your opinion and you're entitled to it. And on one hand, I agree with that. There's times I wish she would, hey, enough. Can we take a break? But why stop watching her? Stop listening to her. Why does she need to go away? Why do people keep trying to silence her and take her home and take her voice and take everything from her? It's not our job to do that to people. She should have done that a while ago, Lady Di. See, I mean, we're not disagreeing with the concept of what you're saying, but why is it up to you or to the other people to take that from her, to take her voice from her? Don't listen to her. Silence her by you're not communicating with her. not watching her. I hate in the community how you're not supposed to like people who don't like each other. I like Amber. I like Tira. I don't even know who that is. Who's Janine? I'm not in that community. I'm in my own little world over here. Thanks for visiting. I know you, Amanda Bowens. I'm not talking about, but all this other stuff I'm not privy to in the firsthand. Tira dragged Amber with Mindy, as did many. Some have seen the error of their ways. Even Amber was absolute down. Talking about kicking while down. Hold up. I don't know Amber from absolutely nobody. I don't know how. I think it's because I do the Jessica Kenton the stuff. I haven't done Jessica in a long time. You can look at my stuff. I do need to do number 5 just because Eldon wants to see me finish that, and I will finish it just to finish it. But as for Amber, I don't know her. I somehow got a live where she was in her closet talking about unaliving herself, that she had no value to anybody. It was a very like, what the F, you know? I mean, just seriously. And I was like, no, you have value. You're human. I supported her in that moment in her closet of that situation. And then I don't know who she is. I don't know where all this went to with Mindy and all that stuff. But anytime I've seen her after that day, I've never seen her down. So I don't know this kicking down stuff because she has been fighting with just rah every time that it's come across as anything. So I know nothing about that. And I want nothing to do with her, because anyone that's going to threaten me, and I'm saying it here with my whole fucking chest, that if you're going to say you're going to pull up, pull up. You said you know where I live and you're going to pull up. That is a fucking threat. She has since not said nothing that I know of or to me, but that is a threat, and I will handle it as a threat. I don't know where she lives. Don't care to know where she lives. Don't want nothing to do with her, because what I have come to, and this is where I do what I do. I'm not trying to kick her while she's down. I feel, back to my post, she's struggling. She has mental health issues. She has problems. Why shall I kick her when she's down? But don't tell me you're going to pull up, because then we will have some damn problems. But other than that, wherever you're at, stay in your little peaceful little world over there, doing your thing, doing your deep dives. If that's the life you want to live, do it. I am not going to pull no one's for you. I am not going to call them ugly. I'm not going to call them fat. I'm not going to do the things and then have to put up pictures of my ass sticking out to prove myself to anybody. I am who I am. I know who I am. Chicago did not come for Amber with location threats. Well, okay, hold up. Let's just go with what you said. Chicago is the one that came for Amber with location threats. I have screenshots. Okay, make that make sense. Make it make sense. What location? What threat did Chicago give to Amber? It didn't happen. You people need to like really evaluate what you think and what you see and what you say, because just because you're around doesn't mean we're privy to everything you do and what's going on. I mean, if it's on Tira's channel with the Mindy and the Jason and some of that stuff going on in that, majority I have watched, not everything. We don't like Nicole, but that doesn't make it right. So where did Nicole come from? That's the issue here. That's the issue, is Nicole. Where did Nicole come from? Oh, Minnie's cult survivor. Tira also came for Nicole just to cause drama and try to be relevant. That was disrespect. Okay, let Nicole fight her fight. What? How are you defending Nicole? See how I get lost in this? You're fighting for Amber. You're fighting for Nicole for Mindy. Like, let Mindy handle Mindy's shit. Let Nicole Nicole is not she's not a meek mouse or nothing. She Nicole will say it with her own voice if she has an issue. I mean, why are we fighting for Nicole? I'm very confused. I just got lost in the Nicole thing. I did. How Nicole got brought in. We were talking, and I don't know how any of this evolved into what it did, but other than Tira's the catalyst for the conversation. On here, meaning YouTube. What I can't keep up with the comments. Mindy's cult survivor. It's not an ego. You don't get that psychological torture she's been through by the pig pen. You couldn't begin to understand. Exactly. And then if you don't like Tara, you find her enemies. And then what do? You torture her some more. So it's just very confusing to me how this all plays out. Tara is messy. Hear it from me right now. Tara is messy. Tara is messy, point blank, period. I agree. Tara is messy, point blank, period. What does that have to do with what you're doing? Explain. Nobody's disagreeing, but what deal with Tara for what Tara does to you. Do it. But not for Mindy, not for Amber, not for Amanda, not for, I don't even know, Jessica, not for Jason, not for whoever. Whoever has an issue with her, then deal with her on that, not what you did to Nicole, what Chicago said, what so and so said. If I did something to you, say what I did to you. Me. I don't understand. I'm not standing up for anyone anymore. I've learned my lesson. I agree with you, Amanda Bones, the other Amanda, the Amanda. It's come to that. Yeah. I mean, I still support Tara. I'm not going to, like, at the bottom of the end of the day, she's a human being. I've known her this is probably the 4th year, if not, I don't know, times escaped me. But I was here before Tara was monetized or anything on her original channel, and rooting for her to get there, and she got there. And so that's the whole but she's done nothing to me, and there's no reason for me not to support her. I'm friends with Chicago, and they're not friends. They used to be friends, but that doesn't make anything different with how I support Tara. And I don't support Tara financially. That's so you just gotta, just because I say keep going, don't lay down and die, don't let these people kill you, that doesn't mean anything. But I'm not gonna go at Shelly for something Terry Lynn did. Do you know? I mean, that makes no sense to me. You don't do that. You don't to stick up for Tara. I'm not gonna go after somebody because of something Tara did. It doesn't make sense to me. That's not my fight. I didn't do it. I'm not going to take the punishment for it. I'm not going to any of the things. So I just don't understand how we get to this point. But that is what Tara does. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing about it other than making her homeless? People wishing her dead in the park. Hoping she freezes to the concrete this winter. I mean, these are the things that people are saying. This is literally what people are saying. How does that make sense to me? It's a common misconception. Tara supporters are financially aiding her, and that's just not true. No, that's not true. That's not true. I think in 3 years, I have sent $10. I mean, I can look at it if people need an accounting, but honest to God, I mean, I do not support Tira financially. I don't have to. Consider you Nemesis, goddess of divine retribution. Will you go on with your bad self, Mia? Just remember that shit comes back. That divine retribution comes around. Is supporting Mindy. Wait. Okay, hold on. My biggest issue with Tira and many others is supporting Mindy. That's all, really. Wait a minute. I'm confused. So Tira is supporting Tira did. I don't think it is today, right? I'm not sure. But so Tira supported Mindy. So you're mad at her for supporting Mindy? That's the biggest issue you have, is that she supported Mindy? Mindy liked Amanda, then hated her, then liked her. She hated Tira, liked her, then hated her. Exactly. Confusing, right? I mean, JK and Mindy were best friends and stayed with each other and all the things, and then she said, don't support her, and she said, I'll sleep with your boyfriend or your fiance, or I mean, that's them. I don't wish Jessica homelessness. I'm so confused. How do you relate this stuff because of who supported who and who did who wrong? Is it, what am I trying to say? I'm not mad. Good. Don't be mad. There's no reason to be mad. But she's in the position everybody wants her in. What, I don't understand what more we want from that. How much further can we go? How much low can we go? According to Mindy. So take that with a grain of crack. What's according to Mindy? What's according to Mindy? No, we're not bashing you, Rebrand. But somehow the Tira people came, so we just went ahead and talked about Tira because she's fun to talk about. Just kidding. Not really. I don't know according to Mindy. What are we doing? Addiction is deadly. There's people that hope Tira ODs, or that thought she did and she was dead in a morgue somewhere when she was offline. So, I mean, I just can't with that line of thinking, regardless of whether it's Tira or her worst enemy. I mean, she has, an enemy here on YouTube, and nobody's wished them to have a heart attack and keel over and die or anything. I mean, it's like, how do we get to that point? I don't know how we got to according to Mindy. Mindy, because Mindy liked Amanda? Oh, or Mindy slept with the boyfriend? I'm confused. Was it because I realize I said that Mindy said don't, no, Jessica said don't buy from her business. Is that what you're talking about? Yes, exactly. Daphne married the Duke and they're at the end. Okay. Yeah. This has evolved into some place that I'm very I am not all up on the happenings of, I know, generally speaking, some of the stuff that happened. Oh, she cuddled Reese. I'm sorry. But okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. I did hear a new one, like, was it yesterday or day before? I don't know. I'm telling you, the COVID brain has really kicked in, but I did hear something about there was going to be some relations, but there was no ability to have said relations. That was something I just read like a day ago or something. I don't know. oh, why would you put that stuff on the internet? I don't understand why they even make that content for people to talk about. I don't. Why did Reese? I don't know. Priorities. I guess priorities. I have different priorities than some of the people that are here, some of the people that I deal with, some of the things. I just have different priorities. My house, my family, things like that is way more important than whether Mindy slipped and fell and it was too loose or too tight or too down or up or yeah, that yeah, I did. I read that. I did read that. Terry Lynn. I don't want to say it out loud. I read that. And I'm like, where'd that come from? I don't even know where it came from. But it makes sense. Okay. People who have been around people who use drugs, that is a something that can happen. So not saying it's like he's too old or it's one of those type of deals, but oh, the Duke gets it up. It needs a tissue in the end. Stop it. Rebrand. Stop. You're causing too many problems, woman. You can't with that one. Mm-hmm. Ew. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, y'all are gonna do what you want to do, but what is the bottom line? Do you want Tira off YouTube? That's not gonna happen. I mean, it's just she's resilient in that way that she'll find another channel, she'll do another thing, she'll do something different. It's just it's not that's just not going to work out. So if that's I mean it's a endless fight. And then do you want her dead? I mean, that's just horrific. Think about it. I mean, are we gonna leave me hanging there, Rebrand? Because yeah. And yep. She's not gonna take she does take breaks. She does get mental health. It has happened. But she's not going to get offline. I understand that would be your not goal. That you think that would make a difference, that it would help the situation. You want Tira to get help. And what is your definition of help? She went and got meds straightened out and that type of thing. So she did get help. Focus on herself. She has always focused on herself. I don't know where you've been. But yeah, so that's and her sons. Now, her sons, one is grown and one has been adopted. I don't want those kids brought back. Why? Why are they keep being brought up? We have an adult son and we have an adopted son. Those are nobody's business as to what relationship she has with them or doesn't have with them. So it's like, how does that bother you? I understand, the sentiment, but why would you want her to focus on herself and her sons? I mean, it just makes no sense to me. Tira's oldest is a grown man and she's not allowed to see the youngest. It's not a secret. It just needs to be stopped being the focus of what people. I'd probably be worse than her if I couldn't see my kids and know there's no hope over what the pig pen has done. No, he is literally adopted and she has no rights to ask for visits or to do any of the things. And they have really, I don't know. See, because you're a sock account, so I don't know how long you've been involved in the situation. If it's just since the Jessica, Mindy, Jason, and that's been like a year at least. But from the Jessica stuff, maybe. But this has been going on for years, that people have done stuff to sever all relationships that Tira's ever had. So they're not going to sever mine. And they've tried to do that too by doxing me, by putting, they've messaged my husband. They've said that they were having, not, how did they word it? That I wanted to see their pee-pee because his was small, like trying to interfere in my relationship with my husband. It's like, where is the line that they will stop at nothing? And they did that to try to keep me, and then Terry Lynn, Shelly Abbott, there's other people involved that they have done these things because we support Tira. And support is a general term of, we're encouraging to Tira. When people say kill yourself, we're like, no, don't do that. I mean, is that encouragement that people should be afraid of? I mean, come on. But Terry doesn't. Where am I at? Okay. So what are we hoping from the deep dive? I don't know, because I think we know everything there is to know about her. Terry, don't understand the deep dive. Everything has been shared by the Pigpen, 100%, or by Tira herself. Yes. Then don't put it on. Then why does she put it online? Because she did it in the beginning, thinking I think a lot of us and I say a lot of us because I know behind the scenes some people who have used their real name that wishes they had not used their real name to start their channel or to start talking about certain things. I think hindsight's 2020. You learn to protect certain things as you go. Who thinks that because you say, I have my son, that they're then going to go and do a deep dive and pull up records of how they went through the foster care system, how they did this, that, the other. I don't think you think that when you're just talking about your own life. Yes, you sure do learn, Terry Lynn. You learn. See, and it's not like we take enjoyment in that, knowing she doesn't see her kid. But why is he continually brought up? Like, okay, if let's say your husband's deceased, and this is not a kid thing, it's a different level, even because that's not even the same level as your child. But say we know that your husband's deceased, and we keep saying, where's your husband? Why aren't you seeing your husband? And we know he's deceased, right? We know you can't see him, and you can't you can talk about him, but it's like, what good does it do for me to keep asking you where your husband is when it's a painful open wound to you that you're trying to heal from something like that? But we keep asking you, well, where is your husband? What'd you do to your husband? How did you involve yourself in that situation? I mean, it's just like, how does that evolve into where that's okay for someone to keep doing that? Yes, she mentioned her kids. She did. They're her kids. There's people that have their kids online right now. Nobody's over there messing with them and attacking their children when they should be attacked, probably because they're in a horrific home. But, nobody's messing with their kids. It's just not the thing to do. Amanda, I never thought I'd be doxxed just for a comment. And it's happening, and it's not okay. That's probably why Mindy's Cult Survivor is Mindy's Cult Survivor. Because if they knew who she was, they would get her name. They would go looking for her family. They would do all the things that they do to everybody else. It's just what they do. So, is it okay that some get to hide and some didn't think to hide before it ever became something? Understand Tira has other people she has beef with, but that's not us. I don't know what went down there, so I can't really. But see, that's where you're coming in, jumping in on like, oh, you support Tira. We've been supporting Tira for 4 years. So you're jumping, where you're like, that's not us. Okay. But do you realize you're you're just like putting the condiment on the sandwich? I mean, it's already, all the layers are already there. That beef is been cooking and making that sandwich for years now, and you're just putting some condiment on it. It's and exactly. That bothers me, and I'm not saying it's just you in particular, but there's people that say we and us. And I do realize that, like, if you're not a tier supporter, you're a them, I guess. And if we are, you're a us. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but you say that understand it's not us. Who is us? And why are you a team in? So if you have an issue with Tira, are you blocked from her channel? She rarely blocks anybody. And I know that because Mimi's Cult Survivor's over there. And she just doesn't. You'd have to put her son's names or something to get blocked. I mean, she's not one to just up and block people for having an opinion. Tell her your opinion, but I mean, not like, I hope you freeze to the concrete tonight because you're so stupid for being out on the street. Now, how about you get some help? Where does that help anything? Like, what part do you think she's going to hear? Is she going to hear, I hope you get some help, or how about you get some help? Or is she going to hear, die tonight, freeze to the concrete? I mean, those things, do you see what I'm saying? It's like the approach and I'm not saying you have to be kind to her. You have to be, pat her on the ass and tell her everything's going to be okay. No, but if you have something you want to say to her, let's not start with, freeze to the concrete tonight, or you're going to get raped, or, there's just ways to approach anybody. It doesn't have to be Tira, just in general. How are you going to help somebody or get somewhere when the first thing you say is something horrific or negative or sets the tone for the rest of it? See, and Mia, take this the right way, I hope, but your comment, no, you can support Tira. Who am I to tell you? But we can have our own issues with Tira. You can't tell me not to support Tira, because I'm a grown-ass woman and I'm going to support who I want to support. You're a grown-ass woman and you can do the things you want to do. But if that's who you want to be, and I'm saying like the other people, not the negativity, the telling her how bad things are for her, how worse it's going to be, or that we're going to destroy you. We're going to, put all your dirty laundry out there. It's out there. I'm telling y'all, it's out there. This isn't the first go around. Y'all just think you're the first go around. And I know why, because it's like new to you. All of it seems new, but it's not new. Everyone asking when she's getting off the street, like she can help her circumstances right now, and it's not a choice. I don't think, I may be wrong, this is my opinion, my thoughts, what I believe. I don't think Tira's been gone from Chicago for, five or 6 years, long enough, right? Pre-COVID, a lot of things, different presidents, different, and it's not a political thing. I'm just saying that life has changed and evolved over the years that she was in Florida. And while she was there, I'm in Texas. I've made that clear. It's always a bit not to be doxxed by my street and address and come have coffee, not like that, but that's not okay. But yeah, at least 5 years. But do you know how many homeless people are not Americans at this point? That, whatever you want to call them, illegals, immigrants, the whole, whatever the terms that I'm not labeling nobody, but the people who have come here and now are unhoused because we're overrun with trying to help people. We can't help the people from years past that have needed help. So the new situation, I don't think that where she was in Florida is the same climate of where she is now in Chicago, and what is going to be of services to her or a way to get low income housing is an issue in every state that I know of across the board. Um, I just I don't think she thought that part through. That I have said it before, the house next door to me is a rent house, and we are so blessed and lucky to be in a mortgage because it was done way pre-COVID, and so the interest rate and the everything's in a good place in that respect. I mean, we still struggle, don't get me wrong, so don't want to be like, oh, we have all the, I'm just saying, but to have it all from years ago, 12, this is the 13th year, I think, 2012, whatever that is, 12 years. The place next door to us rents for $3,000 a month. How do people afford that? I can't imagine paying $3,000 a month for rent. It's not even something that's going to be mine. It's not even something, and it's not the most, it's not a slumlord, but it's not a good place, like kept up the management company type of thing. So how do people pay $3,000 a month? Well, then you have someone who is on the low income. How do they get out of homelessness? How do they get out of these things? Yeah, get a job. Okay, so how do you get the job? How do you go put in applications? To what address are you going to where do you sleep at night? When you're fighting for everything about yourself at that moment, how do you get out of that? I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. I respect that, like I'm a grown-ass woman, and I think she was wrong for getting involved with Mindy and getting on that bandwagon. She was eager to attack others that done nothing to her. I don't know exactly. I know I get so getting involved with Mindy. I do believe she thought, I don't know what Tara thinks. I'm not going to say what Tara thinks, but I don't think she got into that as jumping on a bandwagon. I think she had a genuine like for the Mindy that she saw and knew, and so she made friends, if you will, with Mindy. I don't think it was that she knew Mindy for Mindy as other people know Mindy, but eager to attack others that done nothing to her. But you're eager to attack people who've done nothing to you. I'm not really understanding how what you're saying is like, who did she attack? Jessica? Are we going back to Jessica again? Because I'm like not saying names. Is kind of, I get your point, but then it keeps me like going, who are we talking about now? I don't understand why she comes for so many people and expect them not to retaliate. Why keep attacking people and not just drop it? Drop what though? I mean, I don't expect you to understand if you haven't been here, but this has been going on for years. How many kicks, how many corners do you get backed into before you just swing at whoever comes near the corner? I mean, I know you're feeling it's her and just a her, and she's doing everything, and I can see where you can maybe see that from where you come into the room and she's in the corner, but you don't know how much has put her in that corner for her to just wield her knife at whoever comes near, if that makes, I mean, a lot has transpired here on YouTube that has went into her real life and taking everything from her. Everything. So every time she gets a little bit of something, another one comes along, and you're the another one this time. Does that make sense at all? I mean, I know you think it's just from where you're at, but Sarah G. Listening while working, had to jump in. As of September 2024, average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Chicago is $1,863 per month versus $7.25 minimum wage. How do you? And I'm not gonna. I don't know Chicago, but in Dallas, that would be a low-income district or area for that. I mean, you could probably get something similar that wasn't in. It's not the worst neighborhood. I'm not trying to say that, but it wouldn't be like the safest, best neighborhood either. Because like we're talking 3,000 here. But how do you even do that? And then now you're homeless. And how do you get to? And I don't know where. I'm assuming it's everywhere because she did mention it at the other place that when we were looking at her place to rent. They want 3 times. You have to make 3 times the amount of rent. So let's just round that to 2,000. She has to make $6,000 a month in order to even qualify to rent. Then we go back and she has an eviction on her documents, on her background check. So it just like it's compounded over and over and over to where you get to just dealing with what's been handed to you, but then everybody keeps going at it. I understand all of that. So are you saying she is so far gone that it's wrong to hold her accountable? What are you holding her accountable for? For words on the internet? Or did she come to your house and knock on the door? Did she dox somebody? Did she send the police to their house? I mean, like, what are we holding her accountable for? For some negative comments on the internet? And to what accountability? I mean, I'm generally trying to figure out what y'all want from her. I mean, first of all, it's not saying you're going to get anything because it's Tira. We're dealing with Tira. I love Tira. We're not going to, I'm not sugarcoating anything. She has been in a position for a long time that she's not just going to be like, oh, hey, you're here to help me. Oh, thanks. This is just not who she is. It's not where her mental state is after all that's happened. And I get the frustration of her talking about the friend and her husband on the internet. I get that, but please explain to me how anyone knew who the friend and the husband was, or how they knew she was talking about them on the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's like people behind the scenes that y'all aren't up to date on. This has been going on for years. She took a walk one day and they took the mailboxes and the this and that and they found the place again. And is that okay that if you see not my house but the house down the street, that then you just came and put me on blast? It's so confusing. So holding her accountable involves interfering with her real life circumstances. It does to them. It does. I'm not saying them as in Mia, but to them, that the ones that keep doing it, they think it's perfectly fine. She deserves what she gets. Talk shit about her on the internet all you want to. Come at her in the comment sections and do whatever the things that need to be done. But I appreciate the honest and adult convo. Going to put my kids to bed and kiss them extra night. Please do. And I mean, and think about, I'm not saying you have to think about, I'm sure you're very well aware of what you have. You have your kids, you have your house, you have whatever, even if you're in a 1-bedroom studio or in a hotel, or, you have more than she does. So think about that. I mean, I'm not saying like you have to relate it to that, but you're blessed to in your circumstances. What good is taking something away from a woman's life because she says something negative on the internet, you're fat or you're ugly, or not you particularly. I mean, that's all I've heard, that the worst that she's done, and getting involved with Mindy. And I've gotten involved with friends in real life that have been like, oh, that probably wasn't a great idea. I mean, so anyway, have a good night. Thanks for the conversation. Thanks for answering the questions I tried to get from you, but I just don't understand what the end goal is other than to see her dead, honestly. And that's just me. So I've been on here for almost 2.5 hours and my voice is going out, and I am recovered from COVID, but I still have the tired COVID thing. So I'm going to get off here and I'm going to check on Chicago and see that she's doing okay, because she had to leave for her COVID symptoms. And maybe we can have another conversation. And this wasn't a tear stream, but thank you for coming to the tear stream. Because this was just about be kind to people. Read my community post again and again and again. And it's not like to, I am not the authority of nothing, but when someone's struggling, what good does it do to reprimand them? I don't. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. And this is not directed at anybody in particular, but anyone listening to this, why are we going to beat a dead horse? I don't get it. So thanks for hanging out with me. And Rebrand, this was not against you. No, I'm just kidding. It's all about you, Rebrand. Get over it. Bye, guys.